Old money knows you're middle class, and this is how they find out. What gives you away first, your tone, your shoes, or the way you handle silence? For those raised in wealth, class is never performed, it's lived. Most women searching for elegance chase after surface details, yet overlook the invisible signals. In this video, you'll uncover them. And at the end, one rare perspective will help you carry yourself with unmistakable grace. Point 1. Over-explaining your choices instead of letting them stand be. When you find yourself explaining every purchase, every style decision, or every choice you make, what you're really doing is handing away your presence. Old money has no need to justify. A woman who feels at home in her decisions allows them to stand quietly, without apology. Think of how often you may find yourself saying things like, "I got it on sale," or "I only bought it because it's practical." These phrases may sound harmless, but they dilute the authority of your choices. At a dinner, when someone compliments your dress, you don't need to explain the discount, the store, or the reason you picked it. Simply say thank you. That response alone carries more weight than 5 sentences of explanation. In professional settings, the same rule applies. A colleague notices your handbag. You don't have to justify why it's structured or which outlet it came from. True confidence doesn't fill the silence with proof. It lets the silence work in your favor. Let your choices breathe. That is how belonging is recognized. Point 2. Treating luxury items as proof instead of tools. Luxury loses its dignity the moment it is carried as evidence rather than lived with as a natural extension of your life. When you treat an object as proof that you belong, proof that you've arrived, you place yourself outside of the world you're trying to enter. Old money does not view possessions as status symbols. They see them as tools, integrated seamlessly into daily life. Think of a leather bag. In one hand, it is clutched tightly, placed carefully on the table, mentioned with brand names dropped into conversation. That same bag, in another hand, rests casually on the floor, opened with ease, and used to carry a notebook and an orange from the market. The first signals longing for recognition. The second signals familiarity, belonging, and comfort. Reframe how you see your own possessions. A watch, a coat, a pair of shoes. These are not trophies to parade. They are silent companions that serve you while saying nothing. When you stop needing validation from them, the validation others quietly give you becomes automatic. Point 3. Walking too quickly, as if chasing approval. The pace of your steps speaks before you do. Moving too quickly often reveals an undercurrent of restlessness, almost as though you are hurrying toward approval you haven't yet received. It's not about efficiency, it's about energy. And the truth is, people read energy long before they hear your words. Psychologists studying nonverbal behavior note that slower, more measured movements are unconsciously associated with higher social rank. The reason is simple. Those who feel secure do not rush to prove themselves. Old money embodies this naturally. Their rhythm of movement carries an ease that suggests they are exactly where they should be, with no race to win. You don't need to stage a dramatic slowdown. That becomes performance. Instead, practice a measured pace that feels comfortable, unforced, and steady. On the sidewalk, in a workplace hallway, or even crossing a restaurant, allow your steps to have presence. This isn't about dragging time. It's about removing the anxious chase from your walk. When your movement aligns with calm assurance, people read strength without you saying a single word. Point 4. Overusing brand names in conversation. When every mention of your wardrobe, your car, or even your weekend involves brand names, it signals something deeper than style. It signals striving. In middle-class circles, name-dropping functions as social currency, a way of establishing value through association. But for those born into wealth, that habit feels unnecessary, even loud. Old money avoids wrapping their identity in logos because they know quality does not require announcement. Think of 2 conversations. In one, someone says, "I wore my Chanel jacket to the event, carried my Dior bag, and paired it with Louboutins." The list may impress at first, but it feels like inventory. In another, someone simply says, "It was a beautiful evening. I wore something I love." The elegance is in what remains unsaid, because the piece itself, its fit and quiet refinement, already speaks volumes. Reframe your approach. Let the workmanship of your clothing, The quiet durability of your accessories and the way they complement your presence do the talking. Quality whispers where insecurity shouts. When you let your choices stand without labels, others lean in closer because real class is felt, not cataloged. Point 5. Wearing outfits without understanding fabric weight and drape. True elegance isn't only about color or cut, it begins with fabric. The weight, the texture, the way it falls on your body. These qualities silently shape how you are perceived. Many women overlook this science, reaching for what looks appealing on the hanger without asking how it will move, breathe, or respond to the season. That is where the difference begins to show. A stiff polyester suit in summer clings and overheats, drawing attention for the wrong reasons. A soft wool blend, chosen with climate and drape in mind, settles on the body with ease, moving as you move. One reads as uncomfortable striving, the other as quiet understanding. Old money knows fabric isn't decoration, it's structure. Think of fabric knowledge as the hidden grammar of elegance. Just as language loses power when grammar is ignored, style falters without awareness of texture and weight. Start noticing how silk flows compared to cotton, or how linen relaxes compared to tweed. When you align fabric with purpose and environment, your clothing stops fighting you. It begins to serve you. And that is where true refinement starts. Point 6. Nervous laughter in silence. Instead of calm pauses. Silence is one of the most powerful currencies in wealthy environments. It is not empty, it is full. A calm pause conveys assurance, while nervous laughter fills the air with insecurity. The impulse to laugh when no one else does, or to soften a moment of quiet with sound, often reveals discomfort with your own presence. Think of a gathering where a story ends and the table falls into silence. The person who chuckles nervously, as if to smooth the edges, exposes unease. The one who simply holds the pause, takes a sip of water, and allows the next voice to rise naturally, she communicates steadiness and belonging. Old money understands that silence is not a void to fear, but a space that affirms confidence. It takes trust in yourself to let stillness exist without rushing to patch it. Practice resisting the urge to laugh away the quiet. Instead, breathe into it. Over time, you'll see how people lean toward those who carry silence with composure. That kind of restraint speaks louder than any words. Point 7. Displaying wealth symbols all at once. Layering too many symbols of wealth, designer bag, bold jewelry, visible logos, and luxury shoes all in one outfit rarely reads as abundance. It reads as overstatement, a layering of proof that dilutes rather than strengthens your presence. In reality, it signals insecurity, the need to be noticed rather than the assurance of already belonging. Old money lives by an unspoken rule. One symbol is enough. A well-crafted watch paired with clean, understated attire speaks volumes. Its presence is magnified precisely because nothing else is competing for attention. Contrast this with maximalist branding, where each item fights to be recognized, leaving the overall impression scattered and loud. Reframe your approach to wealth symbols as an exercise in strategic restraint. By choosing one piece to lead and allowing the rest to support quietly, you create balance and harmony. Less is not a sign of limitation. It is a demonstration of refined strength. It shows that you are not borrowing validation from your wardrobe, but shaping an image of quiet confidence that needs no excess to be felt. Point 8. Choosing trends that erase personal identity. Relying on trends as the foundation of your wardrobe often leads to style that feels borrowed rather than lived. Middle-class dressing leans heavily on what's currently in, but the effect is short-lived. Each new season replaces the last, leaving little that truly belongs to you. What's lost is continuity, the thread that allows others to recognize you beyond what the magazines dictate. Old money resists this cycle. Their wardrobes are built on heritage pieces, items that serve across decades, quietly evolving with them. A blazer that belonged to a mother, a string of pearls worn for 3 generations, a tailored coat maintained for 20 winters. These are not outdated. They are anchors. They carry continuity that trends can never replicate. The difference is clear. A woman chasing every seasonal cut or color reads as transient, while a woman curating personal codes, her fabric choices, her silhouettes, her palette, reads as grounded. Reframe your style as autobiography, not subscription. What you wear should tell the story of who you are becoming, not just what's trending this month. That is the mark of lasting elegance. Point 9. Speaking with urgency instead of measured tone. The way you use your voice reveals far more than the words themselves. Speaking with urgency, rushed sentences, clipped tones, breathless delivery often creates the impression that you're asking for permission to be heard. It suggests that your ideas need speed to justify their place, as though you fear interruption or dismissal. Old money voices follow a different rhythm. Their cadence is deliberate, calm, and assured. A thought is expressed fully, pauses are left unfilled, and silence is treated as part of the conversation rather than a threat to it. The result is striking. People lean in, sensing that what's being said carries weight. Picture two scenarios. In a boardroom, the hurried speaker rattles through a presentation, hoping speed will hold attention. Contrast that with the one who allows each point to breathe. The authority is undeniable. At lunch, the person speaking slowly, with steady tone, sets the pace for everyone else at the table. Reframe your voice as a reflection of confidence. Slow your speech, allow pauses, and trust that your words deserve the space they occupy. Authority is not in urgency, it's in composure. Bonus point: choosing relationships that mirror noise instead of clarity. Thank you for staying until the end. One of the deepest signals you send is through the company you keep. Relationships either amplify your noise or reflect your clarity. Old money circles lean toward the quiet, the dependable, the discreet, the trustworthy, because they know loud companions weaken presence. Build a circle that reflects clarity, not chaos. This isn't only a social principle, it's a life principle that shapes who you become. If you've watched until this point, comment with the word clarity. Let's make it our shared commitment to intentional living, refinement, and growth. I want to thank you warmly for giving your time and reflection today. Your presence here is never taken for granted. It tells me you are someone who values depth, growth, and a life lived with intention. If this conversation spoke to you, remember to like the video. It helps our channel grow and ensures these insights reach others who need them. I also invite you to subscribe for daily lessons that blend wisdom with elegance, offering steady guidance for your journey. Share this with a friend who values growth as much as you do. They'll thank you for it. And before you go, remember there's another video waiting on screen right now, carefully chosen to deepen what you've learned today. I can't wait to meet you again, here tomorrow, with more wisdom and grace.